Hello. Today is Friday, February 28th. The time right now is approximately 4:19 p.m. and the temperature is a pretty mild 6 degrees Celsius. I am no longer in Scarborough as I just moved today. And I'm at a location in Toronto that some people might find a little rough around the edges. But that's okay, I'm used to that, and I don't feel intimidated. The closest intersection of where I reside now is currently on Sherbourne and Shooter Street. And some people might call that maybe the red light district of Toronto. But 10-minute walk away, and you're at the Eaton Centre. And you might see some interesting characters around here, but I always find that makes great content. So I'm going to be walking up to Freshco to get something to cook in my new place. And I figured, since I just moved here and I'm walking down this new area, which I know well, not exploring, but re-exploring, I might as well take you on the trip with me. So, it should be up somewhere along Sherbourne. And I'll just be making the observation I can around here. And you'll be seeing a lot of grittiness, but at the same time you'll see some older style houses and buildings that honestly go back to the 1800s, and I can't say I hate it. I'm just so glad to no longer be in Scarborough. It was starting to get a little draining on my mental health, to be honest, and people could easily say that this area would do the same. There might be bars on my windows, but that's fine. I'm not a scaredy cat, and you know, to be in the downtown core of Toronto again is honestly really good for having a solid peace of mind for myself. So here we are. Some decent bike lanes here. No bike lanes usually on the stretch of Kennedy Road until you get to Eglinton. But my biggest pet peeve about riding bicycles in particular around that area is it was the land of the hills. Up, down, up, down, up, down, which is honestly a cyclist nightmare. Because I do not have enough stamina to constantly go uphill. So, got some construction people here, just chillaxing. And we got the 75 Sherbourne. Looks pretty darn crowded. And right here I'm at the intersection of Sherbourne and Gerrard. So, assuming this school bus driver wants to make a left turn, already. And right here is a indigenous property where I don't think the police have right to take them down or relinquish what's going on here. There was a lot of people living in tents in this area, and unfortunately for them, they had to vacate. And honestly, I don't see how people sleeping in tents when you have nowhere else to go is harming the community, especially in areas where you're near a methadone clinic and homeless shelters. I just find it kind of cruel to kick people out with nothing to live off of. So, but I guess they use the indigenous land sort of thing going. So it's kind of really cool, honestly, to see. So at least they remain. So yeah, this is a park that I am very familiar with. There's actually a couple dog parks to the left over there. There's one for bigger dogs and one for smaller dogs. When Pretty nice, neat little building there. When I used to travel with my former girlfriend to this park with her little chihuahua, it would always be a great time because she had no fear. She would go up to the biggest dogs around her and bark her ear off. Like, come at me, bro. But that's just the natural nature of chihuahuas, the breed. So, got a Rotary Club of Toronto Sherbourne Health Bus. Medical care, testing, education, counseling, connection to supports, and harm reduction. And there's an area around here, I think, where you can have safe injections for people with addiction issues without having to worry about legal consequences. Because honestly, it's pretty terrible to be addicted to something like heroin or anything you would need to inject at all. So it's good to have resources around here, and there's constant police surveillance. More towards that direction. And I haven't seen many since I started recording, but when I initially moved my stuff in, I would see pretty much a cruiser every 3 minutes. For a good reason. Toronto Symphony once again. And this is called Allen Gardens Park, in case you can't see the obvious sign. I actually used to live not too far from here in 2019 on a side residential street called Homewood, which is just over there. So I know this area well, and that's a very nice church. Beautiful. I wonder what year it was built. Huh. And then this is Carlton on the intersection of Sherbourne. So I'm just going to fresh go to buy some stuff for tacos. I haven't really cooked a lot in the past 2.5 years that I lived in Scarborough because I didn't have a proper kitchen. And honestly, I'm so glad to be gone from there. I think the whole building should be demolished, honestly. Instead of spending years putting Band-Aid renovations on it, but what do I know? It's a cool Volkswagen van here. Looks 70s era. Small tires though. And you see some buildings that have probably seen better days. But how cool is this? Some people might even call it a shaggin' wagon. Perfect for road trips. Can we imagine the amount of experiences that have been in this van? And there's Diamond Taxi. Beck is very infamous for taxis around Toronto, but with Uber taking over, I don't know, they might be declining. See some interesting art designs here. This building is clearly boarded up and not in operation for any residents. And I have some questions about this one myself. Doggo Snipey. Who's a good boy? So within the next day or two, I'm going to be purchasing my first gimbal stick to keep the shaking to a minimum. And honestly, after that, I will be getting a wind guard to create the best audio I can and the best picture quality I can with the gimbal. So I'm taking this more and more seriously each day, as I said in the previous video. And there are bikes you can rent all around here, but I've never personally done that. I think you pay with a credit card and you have to return it to a certain location. I'm not sure of the time frame. And there's a Phoenix concert theater. Infamous. I think the Smashing Pumpkins were once there. Yeah, this might be TMI, but my boxers seem to be falling down underneath my pants, and I don't know why. So it seems like I'm walking a little funny by the angles. Forgive me. It's a really cool porch, but I wonder why there's no railing. But this has a nice railing and a nice sized porch as well. I see Freshco approaching. Thinking about those tacos right now. You see some gentlemen looking out the window. Oh. Very mild today. My fingers aren't cold. No gloves required. And I wonder what this is. Look, there's a Domino's approaching on the left-hand side that I used to go to when I used to live on Homewood quite frequently. And another doggo snipey. I'll take as many as I can get. Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic School. Interesting design of a building for a school. I'm trying to read what that says. Railing's kind of covering the bottom part. Hoosier House Long-Term Care Home. I'm assuming that's for senior citizens. Senior citizen residential building. And I just love this building too. Almost reminds me of the design of the Dakota in New York. You can see I hate it at all. Bars on the windows here too. Funeral residence. Funeral home and chapel. Yeah. For the 2.5 years that I lived in Scarborough in that building, that was the first view I would have when I left. It was gloomy, but seems to be some sort of protest going on here. And I'll just cross over and maybe get a better view of what it's possibly about. So, and we have Fleet's Coffee Van. well, truck, I guess I could technically say. The next street over is Homewood, where I used to reside. And you'll start to see more condos around here. And you'll see a bunch of 60 styles architectures of high-rises. One of the most congested amount of high-rises in the downtown Toronto core in general. So what's going on here? What's with these shenanigans? A bunch of people lining up for this coffee truck. Wonder if it's on the house. Well, it's obviously outside a Toronto Public Library. Media coverage, actually. Huh, curious. CP24 News. We are worth a fair deal. We serve Toronto. Give us a fair deal. I'm gonna have to research this. I don't feel like asking or bothering anyone right now, and I just want to continue on with my video. Sorry, what is this about?
It's the Canadian Union for Public Employees,
right?
And our local 79. So
you don't mind me on camera, right? It's for YouTube. I can take it away. It's fine.
Sure. But yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah. Okay.
I prefer not to be.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
Okay.
So we're basically, it's like a practice run.
Right.
And we're just doing, basically because we're ratifying our collective agreement.
Right.
To get fair wages for the work that we're doing.
Right.
Okay. Services.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Whoa. That escalated quickly. Minimum wage, workers' compensation. You go, I hope you win. You fight the city, you do it. Ugh. Interesting style of a building here. Revolution is coming. Gotta fight for your right, honestly. I support protesting all the way. Okay, and I'm approaching Fresco now, so I think that's going to be where I'm going to cut this video off. Much more content to come, much more walk tubing to come. I'm not ending it right now. And that must be where CP24 and City News parked to interview these protesters. Alrighty then, on that note, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Walker out.